Good morning, Illini! And spring break is come and gone, and warmer weather is coming, I promise. We'll eventually get there. But one of the things we want to do through Healthy Illini is start conversations on topics that might not be as well known for some people or might be uncomfortable to bring up and discuss with others. So today, I'm excited because this is one of those moments, and we're going to talk about food insecurity and how the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign is trying to combat it. And there's a lot of information, so I want to jump right into it. To help us talk about food insecurity today, I'm thrilled to welcome two of our guests. First, we have Melissa Plugh-Prescott. She is an assistant professor with the Department of Food Science and Human Nutrition. She has a PhD in public health, a master's in clinical nutrition, a bachelor's in food science and human nutrition, and is a registered dietitian. So there's a lot of really good expertise coming today with Melissa. Melissa, thanks for being here.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
And I'm also joined by Emily Siebert. She's a grad program assistant with the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program. She has a bachelor's in dietetics, food science, and human nutrition. Emily, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, we're talking about food insecurity. And so let's just start at the most basic place, because there may be some that are listening that don't really know what we're talking about. It's a term that's gained a lot of traction over the last few years, last decade or so. What does food insecurity mean? What is it?
That's a great question, Matt. And so I'd actually like to kind of switch that around a little bit and talk about nutrition security, because the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, is really pushing us to think beyond food security to nutrition security. And so nutrition security is when all people at all times have access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences and would allow them to live an active and healthy life.
It's a really good clarification and distinction, because when you think food insecurity, you can come back and just think just quantity. Because, if I'm at home and I don't have enough food and you give me 8 pounds of Jolly Ranchers, I have something I can eat, but it's not really going to be that good.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the quality and the nutrition is really important. So nutrition is a good thing to pivot to. Emily, you made a comment too that it's in our prep that it's not just nutritionally adequate, but also culturally adequate food. How does that play a part?
So especially at U of I, we have a diverse range of students, and getting food that they're familiar with or they know that matches their taste preferences is something that's very important. And some people are pretty stubborn. They're not going to eat what's not familiar to them. So that's a big part of food and nutrition insecurity as well. Not only is it just food, like you said, like Jolly Ranchers, but food that is something that they're familiar and that they will eat.
Because we don't always think about that. Even just, I know I'm from Central Illinois, that's where I grew up. My wife grew up in Southwest Missouri, and just that difference. There's cultural differences as far as what a dinner staple is and what you normally have here. I'm used to fried chicken and potatoes. That's what we have everywhere. But it's really important to have that opportunity for those who may not come from that background to have something that they're familiar with or that fits their dietary needs better. And we are such a diverse campus. We are very international. We are very a melting pot for so many from across the nation. That's a big thing, and you don't think about that very often. You don't think about how that impacts a student. And it's one of the things we talk about here at Healthy Illini a lot, is that living on a college campus is not just about the academics. Mm-hmm. There's a whole wellness wheel that we are trying to take care of, because for a long time, traditionally, academics was the you think college, you think academics, right? And a lot of the others was pushed to the wayside. And so we want to try and focus on that. So with that, we've kind of given a little bit of a baseline, a little bit of a groundwork on what nutrition security means, as opposed to food insecurity. But you both mentioned in your prep that it can exist anywhere, but is really prevalent on a college campus. Why is it so easily found in this demographic? Why is this such a big issue for them?
Well, as a college student, personally, I can say that we experience a lot of financial burden. There's tuition, book fees, school fees. A lot of times students, this is the first time they are financially independent, so they want to work, but being full-time in classes, they don't have the time to work, or if they do find a job, it's minimum wage, and then that money goes to maybe daily necessities. So students most of the time will put their own needs last. Food insecurity is super prevalent. for college students. Being young and naive and not really understanding where to get the resources, how to feed themselves, how to cook for themselves too is huge. Or they're in a dorm, they don't have the resources they need to cook the food, or their meal plan doesn't match their day-to-day life. So it's super prevalent for on college campuses, definitely.
Yeah, and for myself, I was a first-generation college student, so I had a lot of firsthand experience with food and nutrition insecurity, and so I think it can be particularly challenging for people who might feel, isolated coming to campus, and maybe you are, you don't have your friends network, you don't have like people who you could like cook together with, or, you just don't have like the social network that maybe some other students who have generations of their family have gone to the U of I. And so I think it can be particularly challenging for those students to, on top of everything else, finding their way with classes and registration and all the other things that college life brings, and then on top of it, for the first time, being the sole person responsible for your meal budgeting and shopping and cooking and all of that, it can be very overwhelming.
I really appreciate that you mentioned first generation students, because that's big. It's really big for a lot of students who don't have the background, whether for whatever reason they don't have an example of what it means to come. And not only is it important to have that nutrition, but as a first generation student, you may not understand, or you may not have the example of how much nutrition affects other things in your education. You both had mentioned a little bit about that this is a time when you're developing dietary plans, mm-hmm. and how that impacts your academics. Would you share a little bit about what that correlation is?
Sure. Honestly, I think that nutrition is often put on the back burner for everybody, not just first generation students, but people, especially young people, tend to prioritize immediate needs and not look at their future. But nutrition is a very immediate need, and your literally your brain is fueled by the food that you eat. And so it is really important that we have the foods that we need to make us perform optimally in the classroom and elsewhere in our lives. And so in order for people to get the most out of their educational experience at the University of Illinois, it's important that they have the nourishment that they need to succeed.
Yeah, definitely. I know, coming here when I was a first-year freshman at U of I, someone jokingly said to me, "Oh, you gonna eat ramen every day?" And I actually never had ramen before, but ramen is something that became my friend very closely in undergrad. But ramen, a ramen diet, maybe seems like a rite of passage for a lot of students, but really, we kind of need to take jokes aside and really think about ramen and all those high carb, high sodium. That's not going to help students perform at their best, especially skipping breakfast and doing all those other types of things. A nutritionally adequate diet and nutrition quality is really important as a student. You need your brain food, you need breakfast so you can focus in your classes, because when you're hungry, you can't focus. You can't do those daily tasks that may be easier on a more nutrition quality diet. And
the things we eat are so often the first domino of so many things. If you don't eat well, then you're not functioning well in class, and then you're stressed because you're not functioning well in class, and then you're not sleeping well because you're not eating well, and you're not functioning well in class, and it snowballs, and it's all tied together. And which is part of why we do Healthy Illini here, which is why we have the McKinley app, why we have the wellness wheel, why we have all these resources and things that we try and do to try and help balance those things and try and help support those things. And that's really where I want to come to next, is that one of the issues a lot of students deal with in the classroom, but not just in the classroom, is imposter syndrome. That, I don't belong here, I'm not fitting in, everyone else has it figured out and I don't. And a lot of times we think about that in an academic style or in mental health spaces, but in food, it makes a difference too, because I see these other people and they're not dealing with the financial issues I am, so I'm going to eat ramen all the time because it's 10 cents a package or whatever. Or I see other people who have a dietary plan, but I don't even know what I need. I don't even know what I want. I don't even know how to go get the food. I don't know how to do these things. And so a lot of times, because you have that feeling, you shrink into yourself and you go to what you know and what you can figure out. But we have resources here to help with this in many ways. And I love what you guys are a part of and what we have on this campus. And so if a student's listening, or anybody's listening, and is wanting to know about, they have a kid coming, or they have a student or a friend or whatever who is dealing with issues of nutrition security and things like that, what are the resources here on campus that they have, and how do they access them, and what's that all involved with?
Yeah, campus has a ton of resources out there, and I'm really happy to share a few of them. I am the grad assistant for the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program that is located at the ARC near the Six Pack in the instructional kitchen, which is the floor below main. And we are a space that we try to mimic kind of a grocery store format where you can grab some grocery bags and shop as you will and as you would at a normal grocery store. And we have a wide range of items from produce to dry goods, grains, proteins, dairy. We're open on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and no questions asked. You can just come in and shop as you would at a grocery store. We have some really great volunteers, they're really welcoming, and we have resources, and we're happy to answer any questions and help you shop if you don't even know where to start. We like to help in any way that we can. And if you want to learn more about the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program and kind of what it's like and how to go about it and even where to start, you can look at the Campus Rec website. The Food Assistance and Wellbeing program has its own web page within that. We have a video and other links as well where you can watch that video and kind of show where to start, where to begin, and what we do and our mission and goals.
And I think, the campus purposely put the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program at the ARC to reduce stigma, because the ARC is a place where all students go to be healthy and be, and take care of their bodies. And so I think it's really great that you don't have to go to this special building way, in the corner of campus. You can go to a place where all students go, and it's very, the ARC staff really go out of their way to make it as welcoming and easy and, not just reducing stigma, because research shows that that's a problem. Some people feel embarrassed or afraid of going and seeking out, these, food. And it's great that the way that we have it set up on our campus, I think, is a model to what other campuses are looking to do.
And these resources are free, correct? I mean, they're not going to charge it to the student account or anything.
Yep, it's all free. You just go in, you sign up. So we ask a couple of questions just about like your name, but it's all anonymous. Nothing is linked to your name. It's just going to sign up for data and research. And our research kind of helps show that there are needs, and the needs are there. But yeah, it's all free. Just come in, grab as many grocery bags as you need, and shop as you would at a grocery store, and then you just walk out. No cash register or anything.
And just I think it's important to show, people put their name into a system that's for the Eastern Illinois Foodbank, but that is not linked whatsoever to your account as a student. And so that part, no one looks at that, so it's not like you're being tracked or anything like that, but, just in order to continue to get the resources that we need to run the pantry, we have to keep track of how many unique users are using it, but it is very private.
So it's not just about the nutritional side of it, where you want food that is healthy and not just empty calories and things like that. But Emily, you also mentioned in our prep that this is also about having culturally appropriate food as part of that program too. Could you expand upon that a little bit?
Yeah, so the U of I is a huge campus filled with diverse people from different backgrounds, and being from different backgrounds, everyone deserves food that they are familiar with and they are comfortable with, and food that matches their taste preferences. And the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program tries to match their needs and there are resources out there on campus that try to match their needs, like the cultural houses. So there's food out there for you and to try to match your background and what you're familiar with.
And we talk about it here a lot, that everybody's on their own individual journey. And so everyone has their uniqueness. And that also comes to the food you eat. And it may be because you have nutritional needs, or you may have dietary needs, whether it be religious or personal preference, things like that, or things you're just used to. And college is hard enough, sometimes just having that comfort of something familiar. We all have our comfort food that we like to go back to, especially after exams or something like that. And so to have that opportunity, to have that available is a huge part of it.
Yeah, food is not just food. Food is culture. Food is experience. Food is a lot of things, and food brings people together. So I think it's really important that food here, especially on campus, represents different cultures and different groups and of people from all different backgrounds.
The program is available to anyone, but are there particular days or hours or times when somebody needs to come by if they're going to take advantage of it?
Yeah, so come by Tuesdays and Saturdays. So we're open twice a week. On Tuesdays in the ARC Instructional Kitchen from 1 to 4 p.m. Swing by anytime, drop in, drop out. And Saturdays 2 to 5 p.m. every week. It will be open in the summer as well. And then we kind of match campus breaks. So, for example, we were closed for spring break. But we are open again, and we are excited to see you.
I like that you mentioned the resources, because everything takes support.
Right.
It does. And we talk about a lot of times in elementary education that it takes a village to raise a child, and that's a really big focus there. But that doesn't stop when you go to college. It takes a community, and we have a community here. We have a really good community here. And so if somebody's listening and they need the resource to get food for themselves, take advantage of it. But if somebody's listening, they're like, I don't need it, but I like what's happening here. I like what's going on. How can someone who doesn't necessarily need to take advantage of the resources help support the resources?
Yeah, so the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program, I've seen a lot of students helping students, and it's been really great. We have had student clubs and RSOs host food drives. And if you are listening and you're interested in hosting a food drive, we are more than happy to accept and plan that out with you. And you can find that information. There's a flyer posted on the Campus Rec website within the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program subpage. But if you are not a part of an RSO, or if you want to help just as an individual, as a student, or you have extra donations, we have a donation form. It's a web tool survey that you can fill out, and then we'll reach out to you, and we can find a time where you can drop off your donation. And we also have an Amazon wish list, which you can find that link on our sub web page in the Campus Rec website, and you can purchase through that link. We have a bunch of on there. There's some items that we need day to day, like oatmeal, cereals, granola bars, jams, peanut butters, all that good stuff. And you can purchase it through that link, and it'll show up directly at the ARC for us. And that's about it. So there's a lot of stuff out there, and a lot of ways you can help us out.
And we'll have links. All these resources will have links in our description. You can find them there. There'll be a lot of links this time, but that's good because there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that are there. You've talked a lot about the program at the ARC, but there's a satellite space, isn't there also?
Yeah, that's correct. The Food Assistance and Wellbeing program wouldn't be where we are today without the WESLEY Food Pantry, which is located at Green and Goodwin. And we are a satellite location, meaning that we kind of oversee food donations, and they oversee us. And what we get goes through them, and yeah, they kind of helped us set up, and we're technically a part of WESLEY.
And that's just another resource, and we're going to have a lot of them in the description. There's Everybody Eats. There's the Lunch on Us through the Office of Inclusion and Intercultural Relations. There's also off-campus resources. We've talked about the on-campus. There's off-campus, the Eastern Illinois Foodbank. There's just a lot of things. And so if you have any questions, or you're looking for opportunity, or you're just needing some assistance, check out those resources. But also reach out to us. You can reach out to us here at Healthy Illini. You can reach out to McKinley and our nutritionists we have in Health Ed. We'd be happy to discuss things with you and give resources there. You can reach out to the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program. We are here to support. I know that this is a topic that you're really passionate about. That is something that you're really invested in. And, University of Illinois, we like to consider ourselves being leaders in so many areas, but a lot of the times we think academics again, but we'd like to be leaders in the student support area as well. And I know that's something that you're really working hard towards.
Definitely. College is a time where you're not just getting the foundation that you need for your career, but you're really setting the stage for what your eating and physical activity patterns are going to be for the rest of your life. And so it's really important that everyone, even students who might have some financial struggles going on, that they are equipping themselves with setting the foundation for these patterns that they're going to need to not only perform well in the classroom and in their jobs, but also to prevent disease. So many of the leading causes of death in the United States are related to diet-related chronic disease. So again, it just all goes back to the importance of nutrition and how it's just, even though we all have a lot of competing priorities in our life, we should make our nutrition one of those priorities. And I think it's important to keep in mind that there are many, many resources available, both in terms of your health. We have great resources here at McKinley and at the ARC. We have cooking classes. Emily could speak to that. There's a lot of academic resources. And so these resources are here for students to use. And I know, when I was an undergrad, I went to a large undergraduate school similar to U of I. And it can be very overwhelming, but these resources are here for you, and people are happy when you take advantage of them. And so I would encourage people to just not feel intimidated and to just give it a shot. Try them out, and if you don't like them, you don't have to use them again. But it's good to give it everything a try.
Well, guys, we're out of time. This is a topic I could talk about for hours, and so if you're listening and you want to connect with us, by all means do so. But Melissa, Emily, I really appreciate you guys coming in and speaking with me today.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
College is a time of incredible opportunity. It's a time of learning about yourself and growth, and it's fantastic. But it also has a lot of challenges. And those challenges can be academic, they can be social, and they can be nutritional. Trying to figure out how to budget your money you have and getting groceries and eating healthy and all those things. And it can be difficult, it can be daunting, but there are resources here to help. There are people here who want to help. We at the University of Illinois, we are blessed by so many programs that are here to help students. And so I hope if you've listened today and something has resonated with you, whether you could use a little help, could want to help somebody else, reach out, talk to us, contact us at McKinley, at Healthy Illini, through the ARC, through the Food Assistance and Wellbeing program. We want to help. We want to be there. We want to walk alongside you. And like we said earlier, there's no stigma that really should go with that. It's just take advantage of the opportunities that you have. They're here for you. Use them. Let us help you become the best you that you can possibly be. And you can find all those resources there. You can check them out. Check out our website, check out the McKinley app, check out McKinley YouTube, especially if you're talking about health. Check out the KLES videos there that could help with some easy recipes and things like that. We have the resources. We'd love for you to take advantage of them, and then we'd love to talk to you about it if you have any questions. Thank you for joining us today. You are on a personal journey no matter where you are in it. You're important and you matter. Your health and wellness are important and matter, and we're here to keep you well to excel. So go have a great week, Illini. Let us know how you're doing, and we'll catch you next time on Healthy Illini.